My name is Jim Streng, and I was a partner in Streng Brothers Homes with my brother Bill Streng. I worked for my uncle, who was a builder in the Oakland area. He was also building in Sacramento. And when he quit building, I decided to try to get into the business. My brother was a CPA in Oakland, and he really didn't want to be a CPA his whole life. I talked him into moving to Sacramento and starting Streng Brothers Homes. We worked out of the garage of our model homes. Bill was in charge of the accounting. He took care of our taxes. We sold our own homes the first 10 years or so before we hired a salesperson. We took turns selling, we sold together. We both worked every Sunday when we first started, and he would take off Friday and I took off Saturday. He listened carefully to people that came through the model home, and he was a better salesman than I was. Our first model home, we had an open beam ceiling in one room. And we would have numerous people go through the model and say, well, we like that open beam ceiling, but you have a house that's all that way. We didn't. We had heard of Eichler homes in the Bay Area, so went down to look at Eichler homes. We knew we couldn't copy Eichler. At that time, my wife and I were expecting our first child. Carter Sparks and his wife were expecting their first child. We both went to a Red Cross expectant parents class. We met, and I asked Carter if he'd be interested in doing a house for us. He really wasn't interested. He liked designing houses for individual couples. But a couple weeks later, he said, I've been thinking about it, and I'd like to maybe design a house for you. So he did, and that was like 1960. Carter's first house on Jan Drive, and it was called Plan 601, 1960, Plan 1. When we had our first opening, the ad in the Bee brought a lot of people. It was wonderful. Carter was educated at Berkeley. He thought the way an architect that designs mid-century homes should think, and he followed those principles totally. Minor things, the door hinges. We always had brass door hinges. He asked us to use aluminum-colored hinges that would go better with his house, and just little things like that. He was very strong in his beliefs of things to do and not to do. He liked simple, open lines. Of course, he liked glass. If he could have, he would have had every house with a south backyard. Of course, that wasn't possible, but our streets went all directions. Eichler had a model with an atrium outside, and Carter felt that an atrium outside in Sacramento was useless because of our hot summers. So he somehow came up with the idea of an atrium inside the house, which of course became very popular. I think they like the openness, bringing the outside in and the inside out. The climate in Sacramento is very favorable for bringing the inside and the outside together. They like things that Carter Sparks designed. Occasionally we'd have customers that would want to make changes to the standard house. One time we were driving through the subdivision with Carter, and he said, "What's that window there?" And I said, "Carter, the customer added it." And he said, "Oh, don't let them do things like that. Let them talk to me." And he volunteered to give an hour to any customer that wanted to talk to him in order to make sure they didn't make bad changes to his original design. And didn't charge for that. He just donated it. That was Carter. We furnished our model homes, and Carter Sparks directed us to John Seiler, who worked with Wilson's Furniture. He just got us beautiful furniture for our models that people came to see the furniture as much as they did our houses. John was just as great an interior decorator as Carter was an architect. I think the homes were still as popular in 1986 as they were in 1960. When I finished my job at the county, I went back with my brother. We weren't building anymore. We were just finishing up the end of our lots that we owned. And then we sort of decided that it was time to retire from home building. As a builder, I'd like people to remember Streng Brothers as building reasonably priced housing that worked for them and their families. Thank, of course, Carter Sparks, but many of the craftsmen that worked for us for years, the carpenters, the cement finishers, the painters, just those people that really did such a beautiful job finishing our houses. They're the ones that we owe a lot of thanks to. I think if we had picked a different architect, we would not have been as successful. I think we were just lucky to pick Carter Sparks, or to meet Carter Sparks, and to have a working relationship with him for 30 years.